Welcome to Let's Take About It, Sports Dump, as it's now called, the Chronicle Sports Podcast, where we talk about the hottest sports topics of the week and discuss them and go over games and grid picks and whatnot. It's a very special episode. We have our first Sports Dump guest, and it's the one and only sports imp himself, Matt Baide.
Thank you. It will always be Let's Take About It. Thank you, Aaron, because we have takes here. We have hot takes, and it will always be Let's Take About It to me.
This is indeed a Take First podcast. Eric Trent, how do you respond?
Oh, now I get it. It's take. I always thought it was a typo. That was let's talk about it, but
We
you
got
guys
that a
messed up
lot.
the spelling.
Yeah, we got that very many times.
Yeah, the podcast had something of a cult following. It was Let's Take About It. Management finally intervened and made us rename it when we brought it back. They said sponsors wouldn't understand or something, but our sponsors are the smartest, most beautiful sponsors you can imagine. We are brought to you this week and always by Global Septic. Great folks to call if you need some plumbing work done, or maybe your septic tank cleaned out, or maybe you just for fun, just to try it out, you want to put a sandy can in your yard. Matt, thoughts?
With the headphones on and the hat and the outfit, you kind of look like Joe Rogan right now, but I really like going to Global Septic for all of my septic needs, even though it's in Lewis County and I don't live in Lewis County, but I will still go to Global Septic.
You will drive across the county line just to visit Global Septic?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a landmark in Lewis County.
Matt, I worked with you, shared a communal work restroom with you, and I believe you. Our other sponsor is Elam's Home Furnishings. We'll get to them in a bit, but gentlemen, week 3 is coming up, and we have football to talk about. So, shall we jump straight into it? You guys cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, great. We're going to start with some COVID scheduling updates. Last week, Kalama and Forks were supposed to play. We heralded it on this very podcast as one of the top games in the state. Eric Trent, how did that turn out?
Forks canceled, and not because they didn't have enough players, because they didn't have a quarterback. Both their first, second, third string quarterbacks were out, so they just decided to forfeit instead of play Kalama.
Well, Kalama definitely had the better quarterback, I would say.
It's probably a good idea.
Even before the other quarterbacks were out.
And we finally got an answer on what was happening between Adna, Tudor Lake, and everything there, it sounds like, too?
Yeah, Tudor Lake forfeited to Adna, and now Adna will play Morton White Pass. And the funny thing is, Tudor Lake is playing Oakville now on Friday, which is confirmed by Oakville's coach. So they'll play Oakville, but not Adna.
So they're going down, scared of Adna.
Scared of Adna.
Interesting. So Tudor Lake dropping down to 8-man for this one. Interesting.
Ducks and Acorns matchup of the century.
That's going to be a very friendly matchup, I would say.
Very
Two of the least threatening mascots I can think of. Shall we get into the week 1 in review? You guys.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
ready.
go.
I
Let's
want
do
to go
it.
ahead.
Great.
Let's do it.
Our first game, WFS Hammers Heritage, 48-7. Brock Guyette ran 15 times for 124 yards. Gavin Fugate, 8 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacob Fuller, also 2 touchdowns, ran for 57 yards. The big question, are the Bearcats back?
Sounds like it after they were shut out in their season opener against Kelso, and then they score 48 points. Not too bad.
I think they sound good. Matt, you are these days covering Shelton, correct?
I am covering Shelton, yes.
How is Shelton? This is as good a time of any. We brought you on to discuss Shelton. We know nothing about Shelton?
So Shelton is an interesting team. Second year head coach Mark Smith. They were 3-3 last year.
Is this the Mark Smith that previously coached, I want to say, Tacoma Baptist and maybe Rochester for a year?
No, he came from Arizona. Actually won a state title in Arizona before coming up here.
There's 2 Mark Smiths out there.
There are 2 Mark Smiths, probably a few more out there, actually, I would say.
There's one at Adna as well,
Yeah.
so all right, that makes sense.
But first game, they were supposed to play North Mason for the Mason County Cup, but North Mason had COVID outbreak, so they played Gig Harbor instead and did not do very well, lost 49-0, although Gig Harbor has quite a good team, a WSU linebacker commit. Then they took on White River last week. I was at that game for the full game. The first 3 quarters were not fun to watch. There was 7 points total. Most offense was between the 20s, not much red zone opportunity, but the end of the game was great, and then White River baked a punt under 2 minutes on Shelton's 45-yard line for a 46-yard fake punt touchdown run. That was ultimately the game winner, but Shelton has a good team. They just need to put it all together. So it'll be interesting to see how they play against Centralia this week.
Interesting. We'll get to that in our grid picks discussion. Yeah, Shelton sounds cool. And I hear they have an athletic director you may have heard of previously.
Oh, yes. Scott Chamberlain is now the athletic director at Shelton, and he has been dealing with some COVID issues from what I've been hearing. There's been some COVID outbreaks through several teams up there, but hopefully they get that under control and can have just a regular season. But yeah, he's dealing with a lot of things right now up there, but hopefully he's settling into his new position up there.
Have you run into him at anything yet? And been like, what are you doing here?
Well, so first day of football practice, I actually ran into him. He gave a speech in front of the team on the first day of football practice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it was basically COVID related, like, leave your mask on, like, don't mess this up.
It was a cautionary tale kind of thing.
Absolutely. And then I went to boys tennis and swimming that were right next to each other in Shelton, and he was there at the swim meet and boys tennis, and he seems like he's doing well. He's doing well up there. It's a little bit different because there's a actual swimming pool at Shelton, which is kind of cool. I was
going to ask, do they hold the swim meets on the dock outside the Shelton Yacht Club, or?
I think that would be probably pretty cool, but they actually have a pool at Shelton High School, which is cool, but I actually would like to go to the yacht club and watch a swim meet there. I think that would be much more entertaining than a 25-meter pool just back and forth.
Have you gotten permission to swim in the pool? You seem like a big pool guy.
I use the diving board whenever I'm there. They don't actually let me do it. I just do it, and then I'm like, wait, cannonball, and then I just kind of walk out. So,
well, your school relations are as strong as ever.
Yes.
All right, that was our Shelton Minute from Matt Baide. Back to the week 2 results. Are we in week 2? Tenino pummels North Beach 64-0. This was, of course, the fill-in game when Elma canceled due to COVID.
Yeah, I think COVID protocol. Yep.
All right. Tenino looking strong. Eric Trent, how do you feel about the Beavers?
Beavers are 2-0 right now. I mean, North Beach isn't the best team, but it was 40-0 when I showed up in the second quarter, and so it's pretty much over. Starters were already pulled halfway through the second quarter. Tenino's looking not too bad though, especially compared to recent years. So,
North Beach does have Napavine coming up. Is there any thoughts that are they not?
Oh no, not that.
No, you were shaking your head. I thought you were.
It's
maybe
going to be
ugly. Canceled. I thought maybe North Beach is sandbagging a little bit, putting some bad film out there for Napavine to find.
Didn't look like it. They have 110-pound corners trying to tackle Takari Hickle. It didn't go well.
Takari Hickle runs the ball.
They let him run, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he runs for touchdown, long touchdowns.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to tackle him. No, absolutely not.
A large fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs.
All right. What else did we have in the 2A situation? Rochester won big, right?
Rochester won big. They had Seton Catholic, Talon Betts, fastest kid on the field like always. Rochester is 2-0. They are starting off another good season.
Aaron, is Rochester for real?
We're going to have to wait and see. Alec Dietz he had a take on last week's podcast that Rochester is definitely for real until they play a good team, and then maybe not if they lose.
That is very hot. Actually.
It was a very. I thought of you when he said it. I was like, man, this is so we got.
They are really good until they're not. Back to you, Aaron.
We've got a young Matt Baide on our hands. It was phenomenal stuff. Alex, great. I gave him a little crap for it, but it was a wonderful moment. You know what? We'll go ahead and I'm going to go out on a limb. Rochester is for real until they lose.
That's fair. They have to play Tumwater at some point. So
I want to see.
I don't think they do though. Are they not playing Tumwater this year?
They don't play Tumwater for some reason. Yeah.
Well, that might be a good idea.
I want to see Talon Betts run behind Tumwater's offensive line though. I want to see what would happen.
I feel like anybody. I could run behind Tumwater's.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He'd probably be a D1 commit if that happened.
All right, and then Centralia, they play?
Yeah, Centralia, who do they have? I think they have a...
Did they play an Evergreen or a Prairie?
They played Prairie, yeah.
Prairie out of
back-to-back
Vancouver?
3A teams.
Okay.
And their numbers are still low. It's not looking too great.
All right. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Centralia gets into league play and is playing, the teams they know and love.
Shelton, perhaps?
That's
Shelton. The Chamberlain Cup. We'll dive into a couple 2B games now. The Ashton Demarest and Lucas Dahl pace Napavine to a rivalry win over Loggers. Is this a rivalry now, or is this like a... I don't know if this is a historic rivalry or if this is just like a recent rivalry.
It feels like it's definitely a recent rivalry. I mean, they're just right across the freeway from each other.
They are right across the freeway from each other. And they always have been fairly close in classification. Like, they were both 1A for quite a while. Now they're back to being, 2B both. So,
I mean, that spring season last year, I proclaimed them in my 5 takeaways for Scorebook Live that Napavine was the de facto champion since there was no playoffs. And they kind of took that to heart a little bit, too. Mm-hmm. And then Onalaska spread on their rocks, and that apparently made Napavine mad, and that's why they
bad
made
idea.
One. Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
I'm sure Napavine drew some bulletin board material out of that. But in this one, Napavine quarterback Ashton Demarest threw for 261 yards and 5 touchdowns. Matt Baide, is he a system quarterback? Your thoughts?
I haven't actually seen him play, so I really can't comment, but it sounds like him and Lucas Dahl have this Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf connection, so maybe if that's for real, he's not a system quarterback. They should just let Ashton cook, I think, is what the real
let Ashton cook, yeah. I'm sure Josh Fay will listen to this and jot that down in his notebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Marshall Haight, Lucas Dahl caught 8 passes for 445 yards and 4 touchdowns, including the first 3 touchdowns of the game. So those two look pretty good together. And then Marshall Haight, 121 yards and a touchdown for Onalaska. And I was thinking about this the other day, and Napavine has only had, over the last 10 years, I think their quarterbacks have had 3 last names. Because you think back to 2010, I think they had David Lorton. And then the next year, I feel like they had Ty Lorton and one of the Tucker Stanley, maybe. Those two are both in there. Mm-hmm. And then you went to David Grace, played a couple games, but then they also had Wyatt Stanley kind of wrapped up that year. You had Wyatt Stanley for a couple years. You had Dawson Stanley for a couple years. Then you go to Demarest, number 1, Lathan Demarest, and then you go to Ashton Demarest. They don't like to change up the names and their quarterbacks.
Why? It's working.
It's working.
Yeah, it seems system.
Family quarterback.
Yeah. But no, Napavine looks pretty good. Ashton Demarest sounds like he's a very good quarterback, and they've got him for 2 more years. So
does Ashton have a younger brother?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Text Brian.
Yeah, Demarest. Bring up the next one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Napavine looks like they're pretty good. Toledo blows out Raymond South Bend. Eric Trent in shambles. That is your alma mater combining with their rival and losing to Toledo. Toledo won 39-8. Trent, are you sad? You okay?
I mean, 10 years ago, I never would have thought Raymond and South Bend would be playing, and then PL Wilpa Valley would be combining to play. It's so weird seeing that. But not unexpected. Toledo's, I think, really good. Were they ranked 6th, 7th? They're ranked in the top 10.
You control half of the rankings at this point in the 2Bs.
Toledo looks good. They have a good offense.
Yeah, they do. It sounds like Wyatt Neff is doing good things out there. Quarterback ran for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns, threw for 62 and 2 more. Carson Olmstead, 2 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. And Jeffrey Glass, don't call him Mr. Glass because he's tougher than that. A little unbreakable reference for you guys. Nobody listening is going to get that. Ran for 83 yards and a touchdown. And Toledo, did they move up in the rankings?
Oh, I'm not sure if they did. What, do we have them?
We do have them, and they are... You know what? You'll just have to wait and see. We'll get to the rankings in a moment. But yes, they did.
I think I put them 5th or 6th. 6th, I think.
Okay. Adna Peel Valley. Adna won 26-8. Sophomore quarterback Lane Johnson threw for 320 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gabe Slape ran for a couple touchdowns for Adna. Aaron Asselton, 7 catches for 149 yards. That's a definite Lewis County fantasy football pickup for you. Trenton Carper, 83 yards. Jackson Dunnigan, 5 catches for 49 yards for Adna. And bounce back game for Adna. They doing okay now?
Is Lance Johnson Casey's son?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is. I don't think so.
It might be.
But
It could be. I mean, Johnson, fairly common last name.
family quarterback, family system.
Yeah. Yes.
Asselton as well. So
There are a lot of Asseltons around. Adna, nice bounce back for him. PL Valley, how do you feel about them now, Trent?
Oh, well, they blew out Ilwaco, and then this happened. So, I mean,
That's always like the weirdest thing to gauge is when a team comes out and blows out somebody like 40-6 in week 1, and then they lose by 20 or 30 in week 2. You're like, well, what?
I picked PWV in this game, and I shouldn't have. I learned my lesson.
hashtag rank Adna or
Maybe.
Hey, is it too soon?
A little too soon.
okay.
We got to see more.
We got to put more on film out there. They're still not better than 0-1 on Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Hot take? No, they're not. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, we got to wait and see. Let's see. Any other 2B games? Did Rainier play this week?
Rainier did not. They're still waiting to get through COVID protocol.
What other 2B teams do we have hanging around? I think that's all of them. They all played each other. It's kind of nice.
That was about it, yeah.
The 8-man minute. Winlock dominant. Improves to 2-0 with a 63-34 win over Muckleshoot. 469 yards of offense.
Very nice.
I knew that was coming. Quarterback Neil Patching, 7 carries for 189 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Another patching.
Yeah, another Patching.
All right.
Nolan Swafford, 6 carries, 95 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chase Schofield, 105 yards and a touchdown. Matt, would you like to gloat? You were banging the rank Winlock drum a few years ago.
Well, I mean, I was on that train, and then as we placed a bet on the Toledo Winlock game, I was embarrassed
You were.
by Toledo, so I had to retract my Winlock statement. But
You
now,
went back and deleted
it
a bunch
sounds
of
like I was
tweets,
just envisioning the future for Winlock, and now that they have come to their 1B status and are just dominating, I think I was just a couple years ahead of the game there. So I would like to gloat that I predicted the Winlock Cardinals 1B state champions. I'm just going to throw it out there right now.
Wow, we're getting hot with these
Ooh.
takes. You are the original Winlock hipster.
I am.
You were piping up the Cardinals before it was cool.
Yeah, I am classic Eggtown for life. So, scrambled over easy doesn't matter. I like Winlock, and they're going far this year.
All right, great, good stuff. Any games we missed? What other Monster Rock played this week?
Gosh, I can't remember now.
Did they have
They
a
did. They
Seton
lost-
Catholic or one of those Kingsway?
They lost to Waukegan 28-24. That's right. 8-man
Oh, that's
football.
right.
In
That's
Waukegan?
right. It was in Mossy Rock.
In Mossy Rock, yeah. 8-man.
Not as tough a place to play. But
Not. No, not quite. All right, and we have some other sports that are happening. We got what's going on with volleyball? Anybody good?
Last night, PL won their first match. Who's it against? Three Rivers Christian. Mm-hmm. Not really a powerhouse team, though. Rochester lost a couple nights ago to Montesano. WF West edged Elma in 5 sets last night, they were down 2 sets to nothing and came back. Who else? Trying to think. Tenino's still looking for their first win. I went out there last night.
The big one was did Morton White Pass sweep Rainier?
Morton White, yeah, that was surprising.
Tammy Kelly's got him fired up out there.
Yep.
I will say the meet I saw Chamberlain at, WFS boys tennis defeated Shelton, and then Tumwater won the relay meet at Shelton for swimming. So,
Oh, jeez.
Oh, we got a Tumwater swimming report.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Finally.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you were at cross country today, right?
Cross country, yep.
Where was that? How'd it go?
It was at Stan Headwell Park. WF West has a really good freshman girl cross country runner. Mercedes Ricks blew away the competition. She beat Elena Koenig, who was WF West's best cross country runner last year, and it wasn't even close. So that freshman girl looks really good. And then Centralia's Devin Harrison won the boys race by a lot. He just had a huge kick in the end, and nobody was even close to him. He's a junior, and he's going to be really good. He should probably make it to state.
All right.
Yeah, that's about it.
Sounds great. Oh, we got to talk soccer.
Oh, yeah, soccer.
I heard you and Kevin Schultz have a bromance, and that's why Tenino is getting such great coverage lately. Confirm or deny?
That's a rumor going around. I will not confirm nor deny that, but I've heard that rumor. I'm not going to address it here.
What about Dave Montgomery? Do you like him as well? Or
Dave's
Dave
all
out
right.
there? Dave's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's,
Okay.
He's really good at Photoshop.
he
They're
is
just friends.
Very true. Yeah.
And how are WF West and Centralia? I heard Henry called in last night. I could hear him eating Taco Bell over the phone with you in the on the other desk.
He went to Taco Bell before he called in the game score.
Well, priorities.
I mean,
It's right next to the field. I mean, it's not
He
far. Yeah,
he lives in Napa Vine, so he has to take advantage of Taco Bell when he's up here.
it's fair.
Isn't there a Taco Bell at the Napa Vine exit?
Is there?
Maybe he just doesn't
Maybe.
like that one.
I don't know.
I thought it was a Carl's Jr.
Well,
and
I know
Burger
there's a
King.
Carl's Jr. and a Burger King and a McDonald's and a Subway. There used to be.
I don't think
Maybe
there's
there's no
Taco
Taco
Bell.
Bell.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the
Yeah.
Taco Bell at the Walmart exit. Never mind. What do I know? I don't eat fast food in Napa Vine.
that we know of.
I only go to Frosty's. All right. So, and WF West, they won last night, right?
They won 6-1. Yeah, against Rochester. Cameron Sheets had 2 goals. She was their leading scorer last year. She looks just as good this year, even better.
Who's the front runner for all area girls soccer player of the year? Do we have any
gosh.
names on the list? Do you have a short list?
It's probably going to be, Cam Sheets is up there. Tenino's midfield is really good. Megan Letts, Grace Vestal. Oh, Abby Severse from Tenino has 4 goals and 2 assists in 3 games already.
Mm-hmm.
So she could be up there. Those are kind of the main ones. But Onalaska's good. Toledo's really good. Adna has some players. I mean, the girls soccer teams are really good around here.
All right,
yeah.
great. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with the AP rankings and what happened there. All right, we're back on Not Let's Take About It Sports Dump, the Chronicle Sports podcast. And with Matt Baide here, I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk to him about his home furnishing situation. Matt, as a longtime single apartment dweller, what was your living situation like?
So I had a nice leather couch I bought from a friend, as well as a love seat that I bought from a friend. So I actually had pretty solid furniture situation, as well as a very nice coffee table that I got very cheap. So I feel like the home furniture, what is Elam's?
Elam's Home Furnishing?
Elam's? Yeah, I feel like Elam's has quite a good selection of good coffee tables, as well as a good TV stand. You got to have a good TV stand. I have a 55-inch TV, so you got to have a good TV stand.
Wow, sick brag.
Go to Elam's for all your TV stand needs.
Matt, I don't believe any of that. You have always struck me as a furniture I found on the street kind of guy.
Okay, well, I do have a couple of WSU lawn chairs, but those do not go inside the house. Those are on the deck only, okay? Deck only.
Sometimes I forget about your country club upbringing, but still, I could just imagine you in Centralia with, like a card table is your kitchen table and maybe like one lawn chair and one of those like fully formed plastic stackable chairs standing next to it, and you like sitting at that and watching TV on your massive 55-inch.
Okay, well, let me just say, who actually eats dinner at a dinner table these days? Okay, I have it on the couch.
Are
with
you
the
a TV
coffee
tray
table.
guy?
I'm not a TV tray. I have the coffee table that I put it on, and I use my couch. Okay, I don't need a dinner table. Okay, it's not centered in front of the TV.
Hey, you don't have to get upset about this.
I am upset about it. Who buys dinner tables anymore? Sorry, Elams, but I hope you have a good dinner table.
Well, Matt,
selection.
I think now that you're cohabitating, correct?
I am.
It sounds like you need to go to Elam's Home Furnishings. Surprise the little missus. Bring her home a nice, nice dinette set.
Oh,
A
okay.
new couch.
Maybe an office chair for her since she works from home.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got beautiful chairs of all uses. And maybe get you also strike me as once you're established in a home, like a big recliner guy.
I really do want to get a recliner. I would like to get the ones with the headphones in the headrests because that sounds great.
Nothing you're saying surprises me.
Do you not want an open armrest with some beers in there?
I was just going to say you are definitely the chair with like a fridge built in underneath it kind of guy.
I want to get up as little as possible, okay? And that's what those recliners do for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All these things I'm sure you could find at Elam's Home Furnishings. They will, meet your every need for relaxing in the comfort of your own well-appointed home.
Do I get a 10% discount if I drop Van Tile or Let's Take About It or Sports Time?
Yes. Drop purchase code SportsDump and get 10 chairs free.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. That's not true. But you will always get a fantastic deal at Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, 1530 South Gold Street, Centralia, Washington. If you want to email them, send them an email, info@elamshf.com. Maybe ask them if they've got that sweet chair you want with a fridge built in, or if they have something that's even more comfortable. Elam's Home Furnishings. We're happy to have them on as a sponsor for this podcast. Now, shall we go into the Week 3 AP rankings, fellas?
Let's
do it.
All right. We'll start with the 2As. We don't need to worry about the 4A, 3As. Tumwater, number 1.
It's the biggest surprise of the whole rankings, I think.
Shocker. All right. Squalicum at number 2. What is Squalicum?
That is a new name to me when you just said it. I don't know.
They got the Schlinbacher running back that's going to WSU.
That's a great name.
He's really good. Javinsky Schlinbacher.
Hell of a name.
Yeah, he's really good. I seen him play when I was up there.
All right. Linden, number 3. Eric, are you sad?
I'm surprised they're number 3. They just lost to Ferndale. I don't know if they're as good as they were in recent years, but I don't know most of the players anymore.
All right. Let's see. Nothing too notable in the rest of the top 10. Hawkinson 6, Ridgefield 7, Prosser 9, Stillicum 10. So that's that.
Really, Ridgefield's good at football now.
Yeah,
Wow.
Ridgefield
They're
Sputters,
undefeated.
man.
All right.
They're rolling in with a 2-0 record. In the 1As, Royal is number 1 unanimously, 9 first place votes. Montesano, number 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, good for Montesano. Moving up, they're 2-0. And the 2Bs. This is what we're here to discuss.
Oh. Who is it?
Oh, man. Kalama, number 1, with 6 first-place votes, a 1-0 record. They beat Woodland, I believe, in their season opener, and then Forks forfeited. Wow, surprising. Was Napvine number 1 the week before?
No, Napavine was 3.
Okay.
And I think Onalaska and Kalama were tied for first, I want to say. I can't remember.
Anyway, Kalama is number 1. Napavine is number 2. Okanagan rolls in at 3rd. And then Columbia Burbank at 4. I don't know how I feel about that. Onalaska has dropped to 5. They are, the thing on here says 1-1. I believe they're actually 0-1. I don't think that record is going to last. And then Toledo at 6, tied with Forks.
Ooh. Yeah, that seems about right.
All right. Lake Roosevelt at 8. Lind Ritzville Sprague at 9.
You're giving no love to the East Side teams. No love.
I love the 10th ranked team, Chihuahua.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Although I have heard from an inside source that maybe they do not need to be ranked until we see more film from them.
Is Okanagan back? Are they back?
Okanagan back? Yeah. Matt, do we need a moment to bro out about our girl?
I mean, she's not a Gonzaga anymore. She's probably pro by this point.
She probably, I would be shocked if she's not on a WNBA roster.
I mean,
girl Jill Townsend.
She's probably playing for the Connecticut Sun, best team in the WNBA. So
my jersey is in the mail.
I know. I ordered it for you.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
And then the 1Bs, Nacelle at 5, Odessa 1, Elmira Cooley Heartline 2, Lummi 3. Lummi's played some local teams, right? They played Mossy Rock?
They beat Mossy Rock by a lot. They beat Nacelle by a lot.
They sound legit. And all right, that concludes our Week 3 rankings segment. Let's run through last week's grid picks. The winners, it was a pretty split card. We've got 6 panelists. Eric Trent, Alec Dietz, and myself all went 9-1.
Ooh.
While the other side of the board, the right side, Chad Taylor, Jordan Ayland, and Russell Carpenter weighing in for the ad department, they all went 7-3.
Who's the leader in the clubhouse after 2 weeks?
I think Trent and Dietz are both 20-2.
20-2, is that? Yeah.
22,
Yeah, seems about
yeah.
right. Yep. Yeah, we're experts. I mean,
Yeah, the pros, truly. The only game, let's see, Trent and Dietz both missed PWV Adna, and I had Heritage beating WF West, which went horribly wrong. So, that was last week's grid picks, and this week's grid picks. Let's run through the games real quick, and we'll just give our picks. We don't have the full board in front of us at the moment. If you would like to see it, pick it up in today's copy of the Chronicle, as this podcast will be released on Thursday.
Such a good podcaster.
A true pros, bro. Toledo at Stevenson. Who do you guys like?
Toledo easily.
I would have to go Toledo.
Yeah, but Stevenson's pretty. It's
Pretty.
They've got a
I
good-
thought there was more after that. I thought
Matt, you weren't here for this, but I checked their max preps for week 1 and pulled up their roster from last year, and they had a kid listed on last year's roster that was 8 feet tall and weighed 400 pounds.
Oh, okay. I'm changing my pick.
And we couldn't confirm that, though.
Yeah, okay. I called him and I was like, hey, you really 8 feet tall? And he's like, leave me alone. Great stuff. Centralia at Shelton. Matt, you're the expert.
Okay, so my editor and I have gone back and forth on this, but we both agree I will go Shelton 35, Centralia 20. Shelton gets their first win at home.
I picked
right.
Shelton as well. That was a close one, though. I think it's going to be close.
All right, I concur. We've got Rochester at Black Hills in an EVCO matchup. Rochester, of course, 2-0. How do we feel there?
Talon bets all day, Rochester.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rochester.
Talonbet's a great name, too.
Yeah,
Good
very
name. Tumwater at Aberdeen. Some are saying this is a trap game for Tumwater. Eric Trent, can you confirm?
Wait, is Aberdeen 2-0? Is that the
Aberdeen's
record?
2-0.
They're 2-0, yeah.
I mean, they're
undefeated.
upset alert.
I'm very,
maybe?
Aberdeen, when I was here, never really competed. Are they legit? Well, probably not against Tumwater. I'm going to take Tumwater.
I don't know. You get out there in those Grays Harbor waters and crazy things could happen.
There's the Aberdeen kid that plays for Cincinnati, so, I mean, the
There
college.
is?
The college,
wow.
yeah. Ben Dublanco, yeah, linebacker.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. Yeah, he was good. Let's see. Tenino at Seton Catholic. The Beavers stay undefeated?
Yeah, Rochester just whooped Seton Catholic, so I think Tenino should be able to hold them off.
All right. Matt?
Tenino as well.
Yeah.
Is there a Scatter Creek Showdown this year?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
It should
Yep.
be.
Cool.
North Beach at Napavine. The Hyaks by 50, right?
Oh, yeah.
Still
Or
there?
maybe
Yeah.
even more.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, I think Napavine's going to be okay there. P.O. Willapa Valley at Raymond South Bend in what Eric Trent and I have both decided is the game we would have thought was impossible 15 years ago.
That's such a weird matchup. I mean, I still say they should have combined Raymond, South Bend, and Valley into one 1A school, but
Yeah.
oh well.
But then where would PL be?
PL could join with Adna.
Yeah, well, PL could just you could combine them all in there, and you'd probably have still a 1A team.
Seriously.
Josh Fluke still out there?
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
All right,
Fluke's
well,
still there.
give me PWV, please.
Yeah.
All right,
That's what
P.O.
I'm
Valley.
picking too. Yeah.
Who's coaching Raymond South Bend?
It is.
Is Abbott still out there? He was coaching Raymond for a while.
I don't know. The head coach is. I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay,
I think no, that's not right. I
Mike
don't know.
Tully.
I don't know if that's right.
I think he was a Raymond AD. I played Sun League basketball against him. He was like my age from Raymond.
Yeah.
Let's see. Charles Wright at Mossy Rock.
I mean, Mossy Rock, they've only lost to Lummi and Wakaicum, which not too bad. I mean, they just got two really tough teams.
Yeah,
Mossy
they
Rock.
have had a tough go of it. I think Mossy Rock's better than their record.
I'm going to take Mossy Rock because Charles Wright has never beaten a team that has been in this coverage area since I was around. So.
Oh,
Oh,
that's good to
wow.
know.
Interesting.
Okay.
No,
All right.
unless you can.
Didn't know that.
I can't think of one either. So.
I don't have the Terriers' complete record of the last 15 years in front of me.
Terriers.
So, Oakville at Tudor Lake in a game that I guess is the thing. I have no idea what to think of this.
Toss up. Oakville didn't have a team last year, so I picked Tootle Lake, but just because Tootle has played a game this year. I mean, well, Oakville has played too, but I don't know. It's a tough one.
Matt,
I'm going to
your
take the
thoughts?
Ducks are going to just gobble up the Acorns.
People forget Tudor Lake, not an actual town. Winlock at Nacelle.
I mean, Nacelle? It's got to be Nacelle. It's going to be close, I think.
How dare you doubt the Cardinals?
I'm on the Winlock train, so I'm going to take Winlock.
Ooh.
GM Nick Bamer is frowning at Eric
GM
Trent right
Nick
now. Yeah, I like. You know what? I like Winlock. They're putting up some numbers. Nacelle's coming off a loss. Who knows what's going on with COVID out there? So yeah, I'll take Winlock. What the hell? Morton White Pass at Adna.
Adna, after what they did to PWV. Even though Morton White Pass is 2-0, I mean, but I think Adna's going to get it.
Yeah, I like that call too.
I'm going to take Adna, and Aaron can't bet against Adna, as is his alma mater. So.
Contractually obligated to
absolutely.
never bet against
You
Adna.
never
That's
have.
true. Never once.
Yep.
Evergreen at WF West. We keep seeing Evergreen, and I never know if it's like Evergreen up north or Evergreen down south, or maybe there's an Evergreen in Oregon or something. This is Vancouver Evergreen?
Yeah, yep.
3A Evergreen out of Vancouver.
They beat Centralia by a lot in the season opener,
It
so
was like 35-6. I mean, that's, it's not like,
yeah.
come on.
So it's gonna be close. This was one of the toughest ones for me. I think I chose Evergreen. I think it's gonna be close though. I think.
Bearcats.
Yeah, I kind of like WF West at home too. And this is a Saturday game, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Saturday.
Saturday, 1 o'clock or Saturday night?
1. Oh no, it is 7 o'clock. That's right.
This is the late game on
It's a
Saturday?
late game. Yeah.
All right, sounds like fun. Gavin Fugate under the lights on a weekend. Get the crowd out there, man.
Yep. Should be good.
And our last game, Matt, this one holds a special place in our hearts. On Alaska at Wahkiakum.
Oh, wow.
It's a place to play.
First question.
Hold on. Is Wahkiakum down to 8 man now? Are they going up to 11 for this?
They,
Okay.
they swing
It's
both
11,
ways.
yeah.
Ismah's going to pull the bus over and check out the statue.
I don't see how you could not. It's very inspiring. Like, if you want to get your players excited for the game,
You got to show them that
you've got-
statue.
yeah, absolutely.
You got to take a look.
Yeah.
You got to take a
now,
gander.
generally, you drive by it, so you're going to have to look anyway. But if you stop
Yeah.
and admire it, then you're going to probably have a great game.
You stop and you like, hey, if you want to stop and look at the statue again on the way home, you're going to win. Wahkiakum, as documented, tough place to play.
Very tough place to play.
On Alaska, though, coming off a tough loss, Maz has got the crew. I'm sure he's got them, like thirsty for blood. Marshall Haight,
Yeah.
big guy. They're looking good. Who do you guys like here?
On Alaska, all the way.
Loggers, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, I think we're unanimous in On Alaska winning in a tough place to play.
People do forget that sometimes.
People do forget that.
Can I throw in one random game that I'm covering tomorrow?
Yeah, what the
So
hell?
I am going to Matlock to watch Merriam Knight play 6-man football in
What?
a 5-team league hosting Washington School for the Deaf.
All right.
And Merriam Knight won 79-0 in their opener against Wishkah Valley on last Saturday. So Merriam Knight or Washington School for the Deaf for both of you. I'm taking the Owls here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Owls, too.
Yeah.
Matlock, an underrated Mason County town.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Where is Matlock?
So you
McCleary?
are in Shelton, and then you take the
So
106, go all the way out
west
past
of Thurston County.
Yes.
Okay, okay. It is where I thought it was.
How
Okay.
far from McCleary?
Not too far, like a
Yeah.
15-minute drive.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. What a day you've got in store
Yeah.
for you.
6-man, the quarterback can't run, but everybody's an eligible receiver. So it should be
Whoa.
very interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had 6-man football in
It's
Washington.
the only sanctioned 6-man football league in the state, but they're hoping to get like enough teams from the east side as well to make a full state like tournament next year. So.
Wow.
I'll be damned. Wow. I can't wait to see what you produce content-wise out of that.
Oh, there's going to be video. Just follow me on Twitter, okay? at Matt Baide.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Not Let's Take About It, but Sports Dump. Matt, it was great having you in the studio again.
It's great to be back. Thank you for having me on, Aaron, Eric. Great work as always. Love following both of you on Twitter. Keep up the jokes, Aaron, and keep up the great work down here, Eric.
All right, and one last thing. What games are tonight? Thursday, which it is.
Yeah, tonight. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, tonight. We do have a football game tonight. Toledo-Stevenson, I think.
And when
Is
is
playing.
Napa North Beach? Is that unconfirmed still?
It got moved to Friday. It was going to be Thursday or Saturday, but it is Friday.
They split the difference and went with neither.
Yep, I guess so.
Great.
So just
Cool.
confirmed today.
All right. Yeah, that'll do it for this edition of Sports Dump. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Elam's Home Furnishing and Goebel Septic. Patronize both of those businesses for vastly different needs. Thank you very much. Follow us wherever you get podcasts. We're on Spotify and Apple, and you can listen on chronline.com too. Thank you.